Hey guys, this is Jason over at the Coonhound Collective podcast. I'm here today to tell you about one of our sponsors, Conky's Outdoors. Whether you need a few dog collars or the whole setup, they can fix you up. They have a wide range of products from hound hunting to fishing. My friends over at Conky's Outdoors can help you out. You can order online at conkysoutdoors.com. Call them at 904-692-1568, 904-692-1568, or if you're in the Hastings, Florida area, go by and see them. Again, that's at conkysoutdoors.com because we support people who support our way of life. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast.
And whenever you see one kid walk out of that building with a smile on their face, it's worth it.
Alright guys, the voice you hear there is Mr. Chris Friebreger. He's the youth director with PKC. We're going to talk all things youth with PKC upcoming events, the Mississippi State Youth Hunt, the Missouri State Youth Hunt, the Trader Inc. Hunt, the Youth Nationals, the World Championship. Stay tuned, you're going to want to hear what Chris has to say of these upcoming events and what clubs can do and what events they can hold to help get more youth involved. Whether you have a youth involved or whether you're just out there hunting yourself, stay tuned, listen to this. This is the future of our sport. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today on the Coonhound Collective podcast. Today, we're going to have Mr. Chris Friebreger on the podcast talking about the youth and PKC and some of the upcoming youth events that they have planned. So just stand by. We're going to get Mr. Chris on the line.
Hello?
Hey, Chris, this is Jason Snellgrove. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, appreciate you taking the time to do this with me tonight. So, you're the youth program director with PKC, right?
That's correct.
Why don't you just go ahead and briefly tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into coon hunting, and where you're from?
Well, I'm from a small town in Beaufort, called Beaufort, Missouri. Not very big. We don't even have a stoplight. Raised on a family farm. Farm's been in our family for 110 or 15 years, something like that now. We raised registered Hereford, black Hereford cattle. I got into coon hunting, probably around 92, 93. I went to high school with a guy, Jason Love. He took me on my first coon hunt, and from then I just was kind of hooked. I started competition hunting in the late 90s, early 2000s probably, and got it. I just loved the competition of the competition aspect of it, and I loved hunting for money. So I kind of got in with PKC and started hunting the hunts, and the rest is kind of old history. As far as the youth program, I kind of started out as a committee member with Amy Thomas. She was a huge asset to the youth program. She was a youth director for several years, and I grew up with her. She took me on my first squirrel hunt, her and her dad, as I was growing up, and I just kind of squirrel hunted with them. And I guess she thought I had something to add to the program, so she brought me on as a committee member here probably 5 years ago, I guess.
So that's, I guess, getting on that committee has got you to the place you are to now as the youth director with PKC. So I know I read online that the Youth National Hunt.
That the Youth Nationals is a new idea of a hunt that we have brought. Jed Finley and Steve Gant have worked very hard to put this hunt together, and it will be brand new in 2022. It'll be in June, mid-June of 2022. Any kid will be qualified the very first year for the Youth Nationals. First place pays $5,000. It's the biggest youth hunt in PKC history as far as the prize package, prize money.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, especially, something to get the youth out there, get them involved, get them excited about.
Absolutely.
So there's some great hunts coming up for sure here in the near future for the youth. I know one of the hunts that is coming up is the Mississippi State Youth Hunt in Wiggins, Mississippi. Just from what I've seen, sounds like there's going to be some great prizes for that. But here in May, I think it is, Chris, is when the Missouri State Youth Hunt is?
Yes, sir. May, I think it's mid-May also. I don't have the dates in front of me. But on a Friday night, we have the Missouri State Youth Championship. It's a $500 added, $30 event, guaranteed $100 cash wins. And then on Saturday night, we will also be hosting the Trader Inc. Youth Championship, which is a huge event every year.
Okay.
Jed Finley does as much for the youth as anybody. He puts up all the prize money for his hunt. I think it's like a $2,500 added purse for that event on Saturday night, and all the entry fees will be free. So, I mean, it's huge for them kids to come over to Forestdale, Missouri, and we're just going to have a great time.
Yeah, sounds like it. So with spring, I know we're right in the middle of winter right now, but, it won't be long. We'll be talking spring. Spring's coming. What other hunts out there that you're aware of around the country that are coming up that a youth can get involved with, mark their calendar, and be ready to go to?
Some of the biggest things is the youth program committee actually came up with a new hunt this year. We actually piloted it at the Youth World. It's called a Youth Pro Classic.
Okay.
You can have $100 entry fees or $200 entry fees, either one, whichever the club prefers. And it's a way that the kids can interact with each other and hunt against each other in a adult atmosphere, if you will. Where they're actually hunting for a big prize money. Them hunts can be hosted by any club. They're just a 16 dog hunt. 12 dog, you can have it if you have 12 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the older pro classics. It's a great event, and there's a few getting scheduled right now throughout the country. So I mean, we try and post everything on ProHound. On the website, I try and update my Facebook page, or the PKC Youth Hunters Facebook page. I try and keep that updated as much as possible to keep that awareness out there for them kids, so they know where the hunts are going to be coming up.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah. Well, and it seems like youth can find their way around a computer or electronics better than I can. Sure. So the Youth Nationals that is coming, you had a dog donated or a puppy donated that was raffled off to help raise money for that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Mary Elizabeth Sigmund was gracious enough to donate a puppy out of her own stock. The Sigmunds have always raised and bred and trained their own dogs out there, and she had a puppy left over that she donated graciously to the youth program to be used for the Youth Nationals, and she wanted the money donated in Jarvis Umfer's name. Now, Mr. Umfers was a huge, he's a huge asset to this coon hunting world. I mean, he's the one that founded PCA, which turned into PKC, and, pretty much got the youth program started and everything like that. So she wanted to donate that money in his name, and we sold all the raffles. Mr. Nunnally from out there in North Carolina, I believe, actually won the pup. So it was a great deal. I want to make a little shout out to Jason Hillbilly Turner. Also, he was going to be the transport. He was donating his transport to whoever won the pup. So okay. I mean, it was a great opportunity for someone to get a pretty cheap pup, and it was also just great of them both to donate their time and to donate the pup to the youth program.
Yeah, well, for sure. And if you're listening to this, you need a dog moved, or you're looking for a puppy, reach out to both of those people and support them. They donated their services to help make this possible with the youth, for sure. So I'm looking at the poster for the hunt in Forestdale, Missouri on May the 20th with the Trader Inc. Youth Challenge. For someone, a youth out there that's listening to this, that's never been, figure out if they should go or not, and they're looking at this and it's got a fishing tournament, a bench show, a treeing contest, a water race. Can you go through those events briefly and talk about what they can expect when they get there, exactly what each one of those are and what they'd be doing in each one of them if they're, not familiar with those?
Sure. We start out on Saturday. I think it's mid-afternoon. If you get it, I think it starts at 2:00 maybe. And we have a fishing tournament. At our club over there, we have a stocked lake. We let the kids hunt for an hour. I'll have 2 or 3 judges running around with scales.
Mm-hmm.
When the kids pull in a fish, we weigh it, or we just keep a tally of how many they can catch in an hour.
Okay.
It's usually some kind of prizes that they win. We take donations all through the year, and then we do some raffles and stuff like that to raise money to buy all these prizes. So we'll have 2 age divisions, the young kids and the older kids, of course. And then we'll move on to, I think the bench show is probably next. It'll just be just like any other bench show. Of course, it's non-sanctioned, but will also be a prize package of some sort, maybe a cash prize for the winner of the bench show. We usually have 1 or 2 judges in there, so it's not just one person's opinion. It'll be a panel. And then we move on to probably the treeing contest. Of course, we'll have a treeing contest, which is the most barks. Whoever's dog makes the most barks in 30 seconds. Also have some kind of prize package for the winner. And then we move on to the water race. The water race is probably the most interesting for me or for most people that have never seen a water race. We have an actual pond out there that we let the dogs swim across and chase the coontail across the water. And the first one that trees on the pole whenever they come out of the water wins. It's probably, I would say it's close to 100-yard swim across there. It gets pretty interesting throughout the day, to see which dog is going to win. So, and then we go into the night hunt. And the night hunt will be, it's a $30 open event, but it's actually Jed Finley pays all the entry fees to his hunt. So he will pay all the entries. The kids will go out and hunt for 1 hour. The final 4 will go back out and hunt for 1 hour and determine the champion. Okay. So and then the champion usually will win some kind of dream hunt. Jed always puts together some sort of exotic hunts, like there was an elk hunt last year, a hog hunt in Texas. I just got back from Buffalo, Texas this past week, and we took Brian Payne that won the hunt last year. We took him on a 2-day hog hunt down there. So it was really, really great for what we offer for them kids. And like I said, I'd like to do a shout out to Trader Inc. and Trader Inc. Outdoors for what they do for the youth. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. Well, that stuff don't come free, and I mean, especially you just get in a truck and drive somewhere now, it ain't free, with the price of gas and stuff. So for them to step up or anybody to step up and donate their time or finances or, donate a hunt or whatever, that's a big deal. And those people definitely need to be patted on the back for sure. Moving forward into, later into the year, coming up to the youth national hunt, what things does a youth need to do to prepare themselves, do you think, to be in these larger hunts? I drawed out on the last 2 PKC casts I drawed out with a 13-year-old boy, same boy, both casts, and he whipped me both times. And I told him, I said, son, next time I draw out with you, I'm withdrawing. So some of these young kids, they've coon hunted since, they were big enough to be toted by their daddies. But there's other kids that, hear about it from friends, and they want to get involved in it, and they find out there's a competition side to it. What could you tell those kids to do to be ready, to get themselves ready to be in the competition level?
Well, first of all, I would give any kid that would even thinks that they like it to try it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a huge, huge way to, even so far as much as, get money for college, because we offer all these scholarships, mm-hmm. throughout the World Hunt. I mean, just get out there and try it. And then the biggest thing is, I can tell them, if they need any kind of help, give somebody a call. Give myself a call. Jerry Mall said it the best. I've always liked Jerry. Me and Jerry's always got along good. And he's always been a mentor to me because he's always helped me throughout the youth program when I was, just on a committee and stuff like that. But at the bottom of his, whenever he posted on ProHound, it always said, read your blue book and prepare your dog. And that makes the most sense. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Them kids need to read that blue book, know and understand the rules is huge.
Yeah.
I know the rules can be interpreted different ways by different people, but if you have a grasp on what the rules mean and how they can work, then I think you're well enough on your way.
Yeah. And just to kind of clarify to a youth out there, you don't have to know every rule in that book 100% like the back of your hand. That would be great to know, but just know the basics of the rules.
Absolutely.
And go out there and, in my opinion, first and foremost, have a good time first.
Sure.
And the rest of it will fall in place. I mean, there's people out there that's been doing this for years that, make mistakes on calling a dog, or, they've interpreted a rule one way, but it's actually meant another way, So first and foremost, my thing is always, just have a good time.
And that's right. And that's why we have the youth program, is to get them kids ready for the adult part of the competition coon hunting. And, we want them kids to have fun. And that's the whole reason for our day-long events. Mississippi is going to be huge. I've never been down there. I hope I get to go this year. But the way I've heard that is Mr. Eddie does a tremendous job down there with him and his team. That they put on a hunt down there that is second to none. I've never heard a bad word about that, hunt that goes on. And then, when we do the one at Forestell, we try and mimic it the best we can. But I know we don't have the participation or that they have down there in Mississippi. But I mean, we're brand new. We've only been doing it for 2 years. This will be our second year, I guess, this year that we've had the Trader Inc. hunt and the state championship together. So it has brought more participants to Forestell than it has in the past, several years. But like you said, the biggest thing is to go out there and have fun. And if, you think you might like it, then try it again. Because like I said, it'll get better. And if you can, the rules, or if you can know part of the rules, it'll help you down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And like I said, you don't have to know them exactly, every rule in the book. Just get the basics down, and a lot of us is trial by fire anyway. So, hey guys, this is Jason over at the Coonhound Collective podcast. If you're thinking about swapping to a different dog feed, give my friends a look over at extremedogfuel.com. They carry two different lines. They carry an elite and a professional. The professional has corn, wheat, and soy in it. The elite does not have corn, wheat, and soy. Go over to extremedogfuel.com. See which line and which mixture is right for you. Find a retailer near you. If you're in the Southwest Missouri, Northwest Arkansas area, you can't find a retailer and you want to give it a shot, hit me up at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. I am a current dealer for Extreme Dog Fuel. I can get you pricing, I can get you dog feed. Again, go see my friends over at extremedogfuel.com. You won't be disappointed.
Your judges that are out there, we'll have non-hunting judges on most casts. And them judges, they will help you. If it's your first time, or it's your first time in a competition. You might have been coon hunting all your life, but it's your first time to a competition hunt. That's what them judges are for. They'll explain things to you, and that's a big pet peeve of mine, is to pick judges that can give you information as they go, to help them kids learn as they, if they do mess up out there. Well, instead of, just minusing their dog, explain to them why they got their dog minused.
Yeah.
That's huge to me. So.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I entered my first PKC hunt when I was 16 or 17, and I didn't get taught the lesson that way. I got taught the lesson the wrong way. So
$30 at a time, right?
Yeah. So I'm looking here at the 2022 Mississippi State PKC Youth Hunt. It's on March the 5th in Wiggins, Mississippi, and they are giving a Sika deer hunt, a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle. So it's a pretty good prize pack for someone that's willing to drive down there and participate in it. I think it would definitely be worth the travel.
Oh man, that is huge. And like I said, I hope I get to go down there, just to see it all. Because I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about that hunt. And like I said, Mr. Eddie, Tyler, Duncan, they just do a phenomenal job down there with that hunt, and I want to see it. So
Yeah.
hopefully I get to go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would like to be able to go. Also, if I can get away and get down there for sure. I've got 2 teenagers here in the house. Both of them hunt with me some, and I would love to have one of them, if not both of them, be able to go down there and hunt in that. But if nothing else, maybe we can get up to Forestdale. We're not that far apart from each other, so maybe we can get up there and partake in the facilities up there and have a good time. So going forward later in the year, after the Youth Nationals, the state hunts, we're going to have the Youth World hunts. Can you talk about what goes into that and, what kids can do to get prepared for that?
Sure. The Youth World is a huge event. We had in 2021, we had the largest Youth World ever known to PKC. I think we hunted 100 and I want to say 13 dogs one night. And it was huge. It was the biggest we've ever had. With that being said, the youth has to win their $100 to be qualified for the Youth World. We actually offer 2 nights of qualifying now, Thursday and Friday night. Thursday night would be your free night to hunt, and then a $30 entry fee for Friday night. If you don't get qualified on Thursday, you have to win double cast wins, back-to-back cast wins on Thursday or Friday night to be able to hunt on Saturday in the quarterfinals, semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
We also will probably offer another for the kids that don't get into the semis and the quarterfinals. We'll probably offer a Pro Classic on Saturday night also, along with the open event. The Youth Open event, I think it's a $30 hunt. It's usually, 400 added or 500 added, something like that on Saturday night also. So, there's something for everybody. If you don't have your money won and you still want to come out and support the other kids, we'll have a hunt on Saturday night that, you'll be able to enter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just like to push all them youth to get out there and get your money won, and be able to come hunt that hunt. Whenever you're winning your money this year for the Youth World, it's actually qualifying you for the 2023 Youth Nationals also. I hate to jump ahead of you a little bit, but
no, go ahead.
Whenever for 2022 Youth Nationals, which will be held in this June, you do not have to qualify. So any kid that has a PKC membership and between the ages of 6 and 18, still in school, can hunt the Youth Nationals. In 2023, you will have to qualify. And to qualify, you either have to have 3 cast wins or $200 won. So right now, in the prior year. So right now, you are qualifying, you are winning cast to qualify for the 2023 Youth Nationals. It's a little confusing, but it's just like the big nationals is you qualify the year before for the nationals.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Where is that Youth National going to be held this year?
In Paducah, Kentucky. Okay.
Is that going to move around, or is that where they plan on keeping it there?
Well, I'm not saying it won't move around, but I think we have a 2-year commitment in Paducah.
Okay.
So.
And the World is in Salem?
Yes, sir. The Youth World will be in Salem, Illinois. I think somewhere around maybe the second weekend in October.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What, as the program youth director there, these bigger hunts like the Youth National, the World Hunt, and even the Missouri State Hunt, what does it take in the background to really get that up and going? This is not so much for the youth as for the adults that, are hesitant of, man, I don't really want to go over there today or whatever. What does it take with y'all to put something like that together? Because you didn't just start planning this last week.
No, sir. It takes a great team, and I feel that the youth committee with PKC has the best team that there could possibly stack together right now. I mean, we all work really well together. Myself, St. Patton, Amy Thomas. Amy Thomas has been huge. She has all the knowledge. I know the hunt part. She knows the political part. You know what I mean? She does all the interviews. She does. I'm not a big camera guy. I don't. I don't mind doing this interview with you, but I'm not probably gonna stand up and talk in front of a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get my picture taken a bunch. I like to be the boots on the ground. And she is huge in the other aspects. She knows what it takes to make it go. She's done it for so many years. And then just as far as the clubs, I mean, it takes a good backbone to your clubs. It costs a lot. I mean, to put on these hunts just because we guarantee $100 cast wins. Well, you're having to come up with $30-some for every cast win because, with the PKC and stuff, the party, you could pay $72 on a $30 hunt. Well, then you have to come up with the rest of that. So we do raffles and we do anything to make money throughout the year to be able to put this into our youth fund. We've already started for 2022. I think our hunt's in May, and we've already started pushing, to start raising some money for them events, to buy prizes and stuff. And people are great. I mean, whenever, we couldn't do it without our sponsors. I mean, they're huge. There's several people in the PKC community that give money to the program, and we could not make that program run without them sponsors. It's just a time consuming, I don't know how to say it, but I mean, it's just, it's a lot of work. And whenever you see one kid walk out of that building with a smile on their face, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is totally just worth everything we've done for the last 8 months to see one kid walk out of that building with a smile on their face.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that's the reason I do it. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of that I could do this.
Yeah. Most, if not all, of the adults that you see there, or, stuff being put on is all their time's volunteered.
Absolutely. And they're great. I mean, the kids' parents, when they haul them to a hunt, if they're old enough to, where they don't need somebody to go with them all the time, they volunteer to judge, the younger kids. And it's great. It's a team effort. And I mean, these guys that bring their kids to these hunts, they'll do anything for you. I mean, they'll jump in and do whatever it takes because they know what we've been through the last couple months to be able to put this hunt on. So I mean, they're the first ones there that want to help and, want to take entries, or they want to judge cast, or, even throughout the day, they'll judge the bench shows, or, just different stuff to help because they know, what kind of stress, or what kind of, I hate to use the word stress, but what kind of obstacles that we run into throughout the year to try and put on these hunts.
So if there's some club members out there listening to this, and they have a few youth in their club, and they're wanting to come up with something to help grow that youth that's in their club, what suggestions or ideas could you give them to help them in that area?
Well, if they have enough youth, to try and put on one of them pro classics, because the pro classics you only have to have 12 youth to have it. They're probably, I know they try and put on some legacy hunts and stuff like that. A lot of them don't feel. Oklahoma does the best job I've ever seen with a legacy youth hunt. They always knock it out of the park down there. But as far as trying to get them youth involved, I think maybe even just putting on a club hunt for youth only. Even if it's not sanctioned, just get them involved and try and get them out in the woods and teaching them the rules and teaching them how to strike and tree their dogs and stuff like that. If they're anything like me, I only went one time and I was hooked. If you can just get them there and get them involved, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know when me and my daughter's out at night and she's got her dog and I've got mine, where we do our best to try to, keep stuff up just like we would if we were in a hunt with a scorecard and, striking dogs and putting time on them and just going through the processes of not just getting her ready, but it's helping me too.
Right. Absolutely.
So do you hunt yourself in any of the not the youth hunts, of course, but the regular PKC hunts? Do you have time to?
Yes, I do. And that's how I guess I kind of got through PKC. I mean, we actually just got back from the Lone Star 5000 just Sunday, I guess. Got home from being in Texas for a week. So we was down there at the week-long open event that they have. You'll usually see me at the World Hunt, the Super Stakes, the Nationals, stuff like that. I'll either be helping work behind the desk, taking entries with PKC, and hunting usually in most of them myself.
Yeah, I've never been to the Lone Star 5000. I've heard a lot about it. Being as fresh on your mind, you've just gotten back from it. Talk a little bit about that hunt. I've heard Josh Michaelis talk about it on his podcast, and it sounds like a great event. And maybe there's some people that's been hesitant to go. Talk a little bit about that hunt and what goes on there.
That is probably, no, it's not probably. It is the best open event that I have ever been to. It starts on Tuesday, ends on Saturday. I mean, the added purses are just phenomenal. They have pup derbies down there. The only place that I know of anymore that still actually has a pup derby. A lot of them have gone away, but they still draw 20, 25 pups every night down there. And that the hospitality in the South is just second to none. Them guys down there, Joe Manning Jr., Chance Lynch, all them guys down there, they know how to put on a coon hunt. Guy Manning is huge. I listened to Tyler's podcast with Guy Manning. That was absolutely inspirational. I mean, I wish I could get every kid to listen to that podcast. But the hunt in Texas, if you got a chance to go. They have lots of coons, good hunting. I live in central Missouri. When it's 12 degrees up here, usually it's about 45 or 50 down there. So, I mean, the weather's a whole lot better. It was a little different this year. It did get kind of cold down there a couple nights. But I mean, it's always the first week of January, and we're snowed in and everything up here in Missouri, and we always take 10 hours south to get out of the snow, and it's second to none down there. I mean, them guys really, really know how to put on a coon hunt. Jewett, they started in Jewett on Tuesday. It's Tuesday and Wednesday there. And then it moves to Iola, Texas on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They have a youth hunt on Friday and Saturday night. They give belt buckles away Thursday and Friday. The youth can win belt buckles. The high-scoring pup each night wins a belt buckle. The overall pup for the 2 nights wins a belt buckle. The high-scoring open dog wins a belt buckle, and the overall open dog of the 2 nights win a belt buckle. So okay. I mean, it's a huge event. And like I said, if I could ever talk somebody into going down there, if they've got the time or the means to go, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I've heard great things about it. I've never been personally, but maybe here in the future I can get down there to it, and it definitely sounds like it's a good time for sure. So, what kind of dogs? We'll move here off the youth a little bit. What kind of dogs do you currently hunt?
I hunt trained walker dogs. I've got a 5-year-old male I call Dempsey's Whiz Bang.
Mm-hmm.
I've placed second in the Super Stakes in 2020. That's just what I hunt. Me and him kind of just, he's pretty much the only dog that I hunt right now. I've got a couple pups out of him that are coming along, but as far as when I go to a hunt, that's what's in my truck. Little Whiz.
Yeah. What's he out of?
He's off of Trader's Dempsey dog, which goes back to Stylish Trader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be at the Nationals and at the World Hunt for sure.
Yeah. Well, do you have? I ask everybody this. Do you have a favorite coon hunting story, good or bad, funny, not funny, that you could share with us?
Yeah, I can. And it's going to be funny. I mean, I guess it might be one of them things where you just had to be there. But me and a buddy of mine, Jeremy Burns, my best friend, still yet to this day, we kind of grew up together, coon hunting together. We even roomed together and worked together out of town and stuff like that until we both got married. But we was coon hunting one night, and I was I was probably 21, 22, something like that, fresh out of high school and just had to work for a living and make my money. And we went out and bought this dog. We gave $1,800 for this dog, most money I ever give for a dog. And we took her out and we hunted her on a really, really cold night. We had no business even being out there, but we did tree a coon. And we went to shoot this coon out during season. Coon hit the ground and it wasn't dead. Well, the dog took off after it and went out into the middle of this pond. Well, the pond was froze over. Back then, I was kind of a little guy, so this dog is out there in the middle of this pond, and it's running a circle around this coon and barking at it. Well, we could see that the water was starting to rise around that coon, that was starting to thaw out. And all I could think about was that dog was going to go into water and drown, and I just lost every dollar I had saved for months to buy this dog. So I take off out there. I take off my boots and my light and everything, and I ski my way across this ice out in the middle of this pond. Well, Jeremy's telling me, there ain't no dog worth this, there ain't no dog worth this. And I was like, I got to get her, So I skinny out through there, and he's shining a light. I get out there to her, and he slides the dog leash across the ice to me, and I snap her up, and the coon runs off, and I'm headed back across that ice, and I don't have a light or anything, and he's shining a light on me. It's kind of shining in my eyes. I can't see. Well, I hear the ice crack. And the ice breaks, and I go through the ice. Well, I guess I went to screaming, I'm drowning. And the only thing I hear is him holler, stand up. And I stood up, and I was only about knee deep. I had made it all the way back to the bank and didn't know where I was in the lake. And when I fell through, he hollered, stand up. And I stood up. I was only about knee deep. So, But that was about a half-mile walk back to the truck and freezing cold pants and shirts and everything else, my boots over my shoulder, and had to head back to the house and laid underneath the wood stove for a couple hours.
That is pretty funny. Well, I sure appreciate you taking your time to get on here and talk about the youth and the youth events that are coming up. I think that is the future of the sport, and we need to try to help promote those as much as we can. And, maybe I can get up there in May and meet you in person, and, we can do
that would be great.
A mid-season update or something on here, and
sure.
Anything else that's coming up with the youth that maybe new that is a rose for sure. And I think that would be great.
Well, I just appreciate you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate it, and have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.